Okay then, it seems like we are finally getting to the game. This time, it is gonna be the first game of the losers bracket, round 2. It is gonna be a series between teams Popiska going up versus Team Blast Shield, and man, this is gonna be a do or die for those teams. After all, whoever loses 2 games in this series is gonna go and say bye-bye to this tournament. So yes, everyone better go and strap in, because this one is about to be an important one. So, the map is gonna be Adaptive Azurean Isles, and just like before, we will have RNG AIX playing the game with us. They are gonna have quite a nice multiplier when it comes to cheating. It is gonna be, let's see, 1.5, so it's gonna be actually a lot of mass for those bad boys, and they are gonna be placed in the enemy teams. As you can see on the scoreboard, all of the RNG AI players are in the same team, so yes, they should be proving to be quite the opponents for our players. Other than that, it is gonna be a single Seraphim ACU, supported by the Aeon ACU here, as we can see. And the same is gonna be exactly on the other side, a single Seraphim ACU for Shun Avdyev, and then one Aeon ACU for Juliet in the top left corner, as we can see here. So yep, the RNGs are gonna be of standard experimental and also standard from what I can see when it comes to the AI options, so yes. One is gonna be playing the normal way, the other one is gonna be going for the experimental units and other stuff like that. Our players are gonna be Vindex playing Seraphim. Then we will have Popiska, the team captain, on the air slot, playing also Seraphim. So actually no, I don't think this is the air slot. I think air slot is gonna be more of this position. Although we will see how the game is gonna get actually, well, split up. Anyway, on the air slot we're gonna have Endranii once again playing Aeon, because that's all that the air players can do. And then we will have Control K, also known as Azot, playing Cybran. And honestly, I really like the Aeon choice for the air players here. After all, this looks like a quite heavy naval map, so we will have a lot of ships to kill. And well, Aeon is the only faction that have the T3 bombers available, and that is the torpedo bombers. Not just strat bombers, but also torpedo bombers, and Solaces are actually amazing, so yes. Other than that, their opponents are gonna be Seraphim Noob playing Seraphim. Oh, how fitting, to be honest. Although having a Seraphim Noob on Seraphim, I don't think that's gonna work out. Other than that, we're gonna have a team captain playing Aeon, that is the Blast Shield. Then we're gonna have Hybrid playing UEF. And last but not least, for the team Blast Shield, it is gonna be the Gingerbread Man himself playing Seraphim. So about this map, it seems like the most important thing about it is, well, not grabbing the control over the mid lane or anything like that, but rather killing your opposing RNG opponent. Like, clean up this position here, kill those 2 ACUs and actually reclaim their bases and grab all of those maxes. Look at this, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 maxes here. And you're not even in the enemy base. There's gonna be 10 more maxes here and another 20, I repeat, 20 maxes to be taken on this position here. Okay, it seems like Blast Shield is gonna go with an early transport drop to secure this position here. At the same time, he was looking for a bombing run with an early bomber. Unfortunately, it missed the bomb on this engineer, and after that it got shot down by this Inti here, by the Yaita. It seems like both teams are gonna go and fight over the mid lane control with the interceptors, but it seems like Popiska is gonna be just on time to go and drop the engineers and the Tams. He will lose the T1 transport. But still, the landfall have been made, and as such, it seems like this position is gonna get secured. But surprise, surprise, we have Hybrid actually walking his ACU towards the middle island, and as such, it seems like this position is gonna be now firmly in the hands of the team Blast Shield, so that's very nice to go and see. After all, there is no response from the opponent team, as no ACU is moving towards the mid lane. Instead, we can see the ACU of Vindex and also Popiska both making their way towards the opposing RNG AI, as it seems like their plan is to go and clean up the top side and take control over this massive swatch of resources from the enemy RNG players. Which is honestly the way I would go and play this game. There is a cheeky bomber from Azot circling around in the bottom right corner, and I can only assume the idea was to go and kill the expanding engineers from Seraphim. So if anything was actually building a base here, it would get bombed to the Stone Age. Blast shield going once again with a cheeky drop, although the transport is gonna get shot down with a single engineer aboard, so that's not the best idea here, and kaboom! The transport is no more. Here comes some interceptors from Blast shield to go and save the day. Unfortunately, we can see that Endranii have way more units available, although here is the wild card, the RNG also coming to join the fight. Okay, the engineers which have been dropped by Blast have been bombed by the enemy Shimmer. And it seems like the team Blast Shield is going all in on the naval game. But I really don't understand why they're actually sucking this position. After all, this is free maxes, free economy you can take, and then you can just build 2 ACUs with the gun upgrade, and you just push this RNG ACU out of the game, eradicate this base, and then you just enjoy your free scaling. And this is exactly what the opposing team is doing, as we can see both Control K and Endranii pushing versus the RNG AI in the bottom corner, just in the same way as their teammates, Popiska and Vindex, are doing on the top side. So yes, this game is already looking quite different compared to what one would expect. Okay, ACU from Hybrid gonna deal some massive damage in the mid lane. He should be able to go and grab Verancy upgrade soon enough. Okay, 200 more mass and he will get the level up. And now with the ACU of Blast Shield also joining the fray, it seems like the mid lane island is gonna be firmly in the hands of the team Blast. Also, we have a really nice naval blockade. Why? Why are you resurfaced, Mr. Submarine? That's not what we're supposed to be doing. Oh well. That's 1-0 for the Trident-class frigate, I guess. And we have a first ejection of the game, as it seems like there was some connection problems. Yep. It seems like Blast Shield actually crashed in this game, meaning it is now gonna be a 3 versus 4, making this game a very hard to actually go and win out. After all, this is a 20x20 macro map. So yes, and with the team Popiska actually getting the upper hands versus the RNG players, I really have to go and say that the team Blast Shield have a really hard time in front of them. Although the naval blockade is also a fine play here, as you can see, as the submarines are getting quite some value. 2 kills on this one here. A bunch of kills versus the engineers on this one here, so yeah. The naval blockade might not be looking that impressive, but it is still getting some decent value here and there. Although it seems like Team Popiska is gonna go and respond in the same kind by switching their production from frigates to so-called attack submarines. Meaning that the team bully, not bully, but Blast Shield can no longer bully them. And yep, RNG AI have been dispatched in the bottom corner. And now it seems like there's only one more ACU to go and stop them, unfortunately. This one here is just chilling, just being befuddled as to why the hell Seraphim Noob never moved his ACU towards this position here. Like, look at this. 10 max positions untaken for the whole game. It's been 10 minutes already and Seraphim still didn't take control over this. So that's very sad to see. At the same time, it seems like Gingerbread Man is gonna be unable to actually make a proper firebase or foothold here versus the enemy RNG, so yes. A very peculiar playset of game moves coming up from the team Blast Shield. After all, this is just RNG AI, an AI which is not well, it is nowhere as good as the M28, and while it might have quite a big cheat coefficient enabled with the 1.5 economy, cheat multiplier and 1.2 build power, it is still nowhere as dangerous as the M28 set to, like, say, 1.2. So yes, I really don't understand why the team Blast Shield didn't have Seraphim move with his ASU here and take control over this position. Like, look, even Azot is recognizing the fact that this was untaken, and now he just dropped a bunch of engineers by flying here on the bottom part for this position, and now he will just get not only the reclaim, and there is like, yeah, 2000 reclaim available here, but also he will now take control over all these mexes, which is a bunch of free mass for, well, free. Like, nobody was fighting over this position. Like, look at Vindex here, he freely took control over this expansion slot, and because of that, he have 73 mass available compared to Seraphim Noob, who is on 120. 120, and he's actually playing double base here. So, yep, he's not even that ahead compared to Vindex. Because if Vindex was actually to get the base belonging to Popiska here, he would be actually ahead by 30 mass per tick, so yes. Honestly, very, very strange moves by Seraphim Noob. Also, that's a big army of torpedo bombers coming out from Endranii, as it seems like the game plan for the team Popiska is gonna be to go and clean out the naval units and factories from the RNG AI, as the Juliet and Shun Aviev are gonna be the targets for them. And with minute 12 already nearing, let's see, do we have T3 stage being actually deployed? Nope. It seems like torpedo bombers and swift winds are on the menu for Endranii. And his opponent is also going full of the tier 2 build stage, only going for the Swifties. So nobody is going for the ASF or the T3 air stage for now, which is very interesting. After all, on a map this big, getting the ASF to control the sky and then using the torpedo bombers to go and basically run down the opposing naval units would be one of the better game plans here, but yep, it seems like the players have different idea. Once again, torpedo bomber is gonna go after the enemy naval factories, which is a decent choice. Oh, I guess they're not being able to push versus this position, as there is Miasmas, Oblivion Turrets and T1 PDs. And with only a single gun-upgraded ACU, Vindex is gonna be unable to go and make the push here. Especially as it seems like Popiska is not gonna risk dying, he's not gonna build gun upgrade, no, nothing. He is just gonna chill in here. And yeah, Azot, Control K, with already most of this island here taken, with only a few units remaining here from the opposing RNG AI. But the funny thing is, Seraphim Noob is the one eradicating the remaining forces from the RNG, but at the same time, he doesn't get anything in return for it. As we can see, it's Azov taking all the control over this position. All the mexes or the reclaim have been already stolen by Control K, so yes. Even if Seraphim actually kills the ACU here, it's gonna do him no good, because he will have no way to actually recover control. And here is a sneaky T1 drop happening, as Control K is trying to go and drop the units behind enemy lines, but yeah, it seems like the Swifties were actually paying attention, as the transport full of T1 units have been shot down and demolished. Gingerbreadman gonna go and try to make some advances towards the top corner of the map. As we can see, RNA sniping the opposing ACU, as RNG AI gonna go and drop lower and lower. Only 4000 HP remaining, And with a few more passes from the torpedo bombers belonging to Endranii, he is gonna be no more. And kaboom, baby! We have the third ASU explode from the RNG AI, and now it seems like the only player alive is gonna be Drew. No, never mind. I have misspoken, because this guy here, Albarel, he is still alive for just a few more moments. Although unfortunately for him, it seems like the opposing frigates and destroyers from Seraphim Noob are here to go and seal the deal. As we can see, the ASU is taking a lot of damage from the enemy destroyer and also from the enemy cruiser. So yes, it seems like this guy here might be dead at any point soon. That is, unless Seraphim Noob actually changes his target to be the army and base belonging to Control K, who is now gonna go and make a counterattack with his own units. As we can see, the Siren and Salem class destroyers are gonna use the stealth to go and actually close the distance versus the enemy destroyers, as Seraphim Noob have been caught off guard, with his destroyers coming very, very close versus the enemy units, which is honestly a good move for the Salem class destroyers, as whenever Seraphim units are able to go and kite and weave, the Cyberman forces are gonna miss a lot of their shots. As we can see, nearly 70% of them missing the target as long as the Seraphim destroyers are moving left and right. So yeah, you have two options. You either close the distance with your destroyers and frigates from the Cyberman to basically go and minimize the enemy advantage of, well, having a beam weaponry and being able to weave and dodge. Or the other option, you basically go and use the mermaids, this little T2 counter-intelligent boats, to go and actually use the stealth tactics to go and fire from far, far away from outside the enemy range, while being unspotted. So yes, it seems like for now the option is gonna be to go and to disappear by hiding in the fog of war. But the problem is, if you keep hiding in the fog of war, your base here now is gonna come under the attack. It seems like Gingerbreadman is gonna go and make a landfall once again, just to get pushed back by the RNG forces. All at the same time, he is taking quite bad trades versus the opposing navy. As you can see, Popiska, with nearly double the amount of destroyers, he is just gonna go and keep on pushing forward, as Gingerbreadman is gonna be the one taking the losses here. As you can see, only 3 destroyers remaining versus what? 7 destroyers from Popiska, so yeah, double the number of units available for the orange player, meaning that the violet one will have to keep on running away. We also have a torpedo bombing run happening here, as an air fight is also blowing in the air, as the Swifties, both from Seraphim Noob and from Endranii, are gonna go for a fight here. Unfortunately, a lot of damage has been already done to the enemy destroyers, but here comes the cruisers, and with double the number of Swifties available for Seraphim Noob, it seems like the air wing is gonna be firmly in the hands of the team Seraphim Noob, but at the same time, he's gonna go and fly his Swifties over the enemy cruiser. As we can see, the Siren class destroyer cruiser actually getting a lot of value here from, well, just having the enemy Swifties parked above its head. So yes, it seems like maybe not going for the RNG AI was the play here, and investing in all of this navy is gonna pay off for Seraphim Noob, as we can see him pushing back Control K further and further into its own base. As soon enough, it seems like he's gonna be forced to go and, well, concede the control over this position here. But we will see how it will turn out, because at the same time, okay, it seems like Hybrid is now gonna go and save the day by building a shield boat to go and support the forces belonging to Gingerbreadman, which is very nice to see. Although the problem of not having any destroyers available is still, well, inviting the looming defeat to them, as more DPS is gonna be necessary, as HP alone is nowhere enough to go and stop the enemy units. As we can see, the Ushavoch destroyers from Popiska just dispatching one enemy destroyer after another. And now also the cruisers joining the fray, and also being able to go and, well, block the enemy naval factories from building the ships. It seems like the fight might be even harder, but yep, there is no proper meter being done by Popiska, who is now gonna go and fall back with his cruiser. And instead he will keep on pushing forward his own destroyer. Unfortunately, it seems like the UEF destroyer, the Valiant class, is in the gun range, meaning that the Seraphim destroyers might actually be soon enough forced to go and deep under the water, as otherwise the powerful UEF guns are gonna be too much to go and fight versus. Yep. It seems like they might be actually unable to go and break this stalemate here. As sure, they're getting some decent trades here for now, but here comes the support. And with more and more units from Hybrid joining the fight, especially the T3 Neptune battle cruisers, it is gonna be a hard-pressed victory here for Popiska, as he either now managed to go and dispatch all of the units belonging to Gingerbreadman, or else, in the next 30 seconds, the Neptune battlecruiser will join the fight, and then swing the game into the hands of the Team Blast Shield. After all, these bad boys are a very powerful units. They can basically kill all T1 and T2 units without any trouble. So soon enough, Popiska will be basically forced to either go and, well, use his destroyers in the submerged mode, or actually bring in some battleships of his own to go and actually fight off the enemy battlecruiser. And yep, here is some torpedo bombers coming from Hybrid to support this fight, as the Ushavoch destroyers are gonna keep on falling one after another. Two of them are already sinking down to the bottom of the sea. But there is a big problem. The problem is the Neptune battlecruiser. He is here, and he means business. We can already see that the destroyers belonging to Popiska have been forced to go and hide under the water, to go and hide from enemy beam weaponry, as the battle cruiser is basically gonna eradicate everything that is above the waterline. And as such, we can see that everything from the Team Popiska, the whole fleet, is just running away with a tail between their legs, as they have no way to go and counter that. And on the other hand, it seems like Seraphim might have gained the upper hand here, but somehow he is still unable to go and, well, make any meaningful changes to the battle line here, as the wall base belonging to Control K is still more or less intact, especially as, well, the TMD have been built and erected to protect this position from the enemy cruiser. So yeah, the TML missiles on the cruisers are no longer gonna be able to deal any lasting damage. So it's gonna be very interesting how Seraphim Noob is actually planning to play this out. Like, honestly, I'm kinda sad that he's not going and actually not cleaning out this bottom corner of the map, after all. Control K doesn't really have that much forces to go and defend this. And after you clean this out, it would be very, very nice to go and actually take control over these mexes, then kill this AI and actually keep on gaining control over this position. Although it seems like Control K is also launching a counterattack. And let's see if they have information. Okay, it seems like they do have some information due to the T1 scout stream coming here from Seraphim Noob, but that information is actually, well, quite dotted, as we can see, as the destroyers are popping in and out from the fog of war, as Control K is using the tools of Cybern faction to its fullest potential, making the fight very hard to actually keep on going for Seraphim Noob. Okay, it seems like he will bring in all of the cruisers now to go and kill the enemy RNG AI. Although I feel like he should go and start by killing the forces belonging to Azot in this corner, but yet he is not gonna do it yet. And it seems like there have been a T3 air switch happening. As we can see, there is a bunch of ASF from Endranii, not to mention a big army of skimmers. The torpedo bombers are coming here to go and kill the enemy Neptunes. The bombs are being dropped versus the enemy shield boats and cruisers, as they are gonna get dispatched one after another. Okay, few shield boats are down, and it seems like the T3 switch has been already done. As we can see that the Hatum battleships are now hitting the field. So yep, here is the answer to the enemy battle cruisers. And as such, honestly, I don't feel like this is... Okay, no, never mind. You have to keep on running away. There is still more and more torpedo bombers coming this way. And with no cruisers available, it seems like the Neptune battle cruisers are gonna go and fall down one after another. First one gonna go and start sinking down to the bottom of the sea. And now the second one is gonna be the target. As we can see, the red triangles going after this cyan dome. As the aircraft are, well, winning the paper scissors fight here. As the Neptune battlecruiser have basically no answer towards this threat. There might be some flak available, but unfortunately only a single Yashawak is not gonna be enough. As we have the third ACU from RNG AI go and explode in flames. As now it is only gonna be Juliet remaining in the top left corner. And honestly, it seems like everyone just kinda gave up on cleaning up the top side of the map. But I'm gonna interested to go and see who will actually go and take control over this land position here. As this big swath of the land is up now for the grabs, and it seems like it's gonna be Control K who will actually take control over it. As Seraphim is really just not interested in taking control over this position for whatever reason. He is just putting all of his resources into building as many destroyers as he can. And we can see with all this build power and economy available, he can go and build a destroyer basically every 15 seconds. So yep, that's honestly quite impressive. But the question is, can he actually go and use all of those destroyers to go and actually grab any kind of meaningful map control? Okay, he have been also gifted a single battle cruiser to go and even out the range advantage of the Cybran. So he should be in quite a decent position for a push. That is, unless the skimmers from the top side are now gonna go and make a bombing run versus the bottom navy belonging to Seraphim. Let's see, do we have any ISF available? No, it seems like Seraphim only have but 20 interceptors. Other than that, he have no T3 air available, as only now that he finished the T3 switch, and only now he's building the necessary, well, build power and energy to go and actually keep on building ASF. So yep, it seems like Endranii is gonna have the free reign over the skies for a while, with the team Blast Shield having no answer to that at all. And yeah, funnily enough, it seems like Seraphim Noob actually cleaning out the Albarel RNG player in this bottom part of the map was a big mistake, because now, as you can see, it is Azot, it is Control K who is gonna go and reap all the benefits, as he's already sucking up all of the reclaim and also pouring in with the land units to clean out the remaining trash, and then he will grab control over all of these mexes and stuff. So yep, how much mass available? 15,000 in reclaim, and all of that is gonna go towards the hands of Control K. On the other side, we have a bombing run coming from Seraphim, who will go and use his torpedo bombers to kill a bunch of enemy battleships. It is not merely gonna be enough to go and shot down the Hatum battleship. Okay, but with a few more missiles, he is also gonna go and sink down Although at the same time there's gonna be grave losses being taken by Hybrid. As we can see, a button under the battle cruisers sinking down. Let's see, any plans for a T3 switch or not? T2. T2, okay, no, never mind. Here is a T3 naval factory finished. And it seems like the game plan for the team Blast Shield is gonna be to keep on building the T3 submarine hunters. And I really do wonder if this is the play when you have no air control. Like, I do understand, the T3 submarine hunters have decent DPS versus the enemy torpedo bombers, but unlike the cruisers, they don't have the HP pool and they are double the cost, so yeah, they're still gonna go and fall quite easily versus the enemy torpedo bombers. Okay, first summit battleship have been fielded by Hybrid, but for whatever the reason, it seems like its gun have been aiming at the enemy T1 mechs, which is not something you wanna go and see. Okay. What is this? Why are you trying to kill the mechs? What is this target priority? Hybrid, why did you set the target priority on the battleship to be versus the enemy T1 mechs? That's such a blunder, mate. Unlucky. Unlucky that someone wasn't paying attention when using the advanced target priorities. Okay, torpedo bombers going for the kill on the enemy Neptune battlecruiser. As we can see, torpedoes swarming around like bees near the dead body of the Neptune. So that was indeed a massive overkill happening. The ASF and Swifties belonging to Seraphim Noob are gonna get killed and shot down from the sky by the Corona ASF fighters belonging to Endranii, who is still killing all of the cruisers and other ships belonging to Seraphim Noob. And with all the cruisers now sinking down to the bottom of the sea, it seems like the next target are gonna be all the destroyers belonging to Seraphim Noob. And oh boy, with no anti-air available, those destroyers are gonna be painful to lose. It's basically a slaughter, and yep, we even have the submarine hunters being brought in with their, well, paltry but still quite effective anti-air guns. After all, this is what, 300 DPS per submarine, so yep, it's not that terrible, but they're still horrible choice to go and fight versus the enemy torpedo bombers. As you can see, they can barely shot down a few of them before they actually gonna also sink down, so yes. It seems like Control K can go and run a beautiful counter-attack with the help of Endranii here on the bottom part. Just as Popiska is actually now getting pushed back by the forces belonging to Hybrid and Gingerbread Man. As we can see, more and more battleships are actually falling down, or no, never mind. I spoke too soon. It seems like Popiska still is gonna go and fight. Quite even fight. Okay, another Hatun battleships have been dispatched by the enemy Summit class battleships. As the big beautiful UEF guns are booming. 3 shells at a time, salvo after salvo. As we can see, the Hatuns actually falling one after another. So yes, one salvo after salvo connecting with the Seraphim, the alien battleships, is gonna be enough to, well, shock them quite dearly. As we can see and hear the booming echoes, and Gingerbread Man coming here with the nano and aura restoration to go and, well, help out his own units. And man, that's actually beautiful play here. We can see 120 more region available for the submarine hunters, and also quite a lot more HP. 1600 more HP per submarine is a very massive boost here. And the same can be said about the destroyers, getting 2000 HP more and 50 region. Battleships getting additional 10,000 HP and 120 region, so yes. That is a very nice play from the Gingerbread Man. Although here is the problem, here comes the Solaces, the T3 strategical torpedo bombers, and let's see who are they going after. They are going after the Gingerbread Man. He barely joined the fight with his nano repair ACU And he's already gonna get sniped. Kaboom, baby, kaboom! As it seems we had the first real player actually bite the bullet. As Endranii came here to go and kill the pesky Seraphim ACU, meaning that these forces now lost a big fourth multiplier here. After all, 120 regen on every T3 unit, an additional 10,000 HP per battleship is a massive upgrade for those forces. On the bottom part, it seems like Seraphim Noob is actually having some big trouble trying to go and actually fight off the forces belonging to Control K. After suffering the losses versus the Torpagedon from Endranii, it seems like he's, well, not going to recover. Especially as his opponent is now bringing the Galaxy-class battleships to the fight, which, while they might be not as powerful as the opposing Summit class, they are very cheap to produce, costing, what, 2,000 or even 3,000 mass less per battleship, so yes. The Cyberman battleships are quite cheap to produce and spam, so yep, soon enough they're gonna go and be in numerous numbers. As the Seraphim forces from Seraphim Noob are gonna have harder and harder time to go and actually fight them off. Especially as it seems like the naval unit mix consists mainly of the T2 destroyers and T3 submarines. So yes, that is not the unit mix that you wanna have going up versus this kind of forces belonging to Cyber Nation. Although it seems like the naval fight is going firmly. Yep. Hybrid is actually gonna go and push back Popiska. Popiska, who have barely units available to go and defend himself. As we can see the TML missiles and Summit class shells just hitting and destroying another battleship belonging to Popiska. As the Summits are lobbing shells one salvo after another, with the big experimental Tempest battleship being the next target. And yep, more and more missiles connecting. As the Tempest is gonna get forced to actually go and hide below the waterline to evade the pesky TML missiles belonging to Team Hybrid. As well, he's quite nicely laying down the siege versus the opposing forces. Okay, another Torpagedon happening on the bottom part of the map, as the destroyers belonging to Seraphim are getting killed one after another, and oh boy, that's a lot of mass, 40,000 mass, and all of that is gonna be going to the hands of the grabby hands of the engineers belonging to Control K. Although it seems like, well, Seraphim is still trying to go and steal some of the mass, but unfortunately we can see his engineers dying one after another, as the destroyers and other units are, well, encroaching closer and closer towards the main base belonging to Seraphim. So it seems like it's gonna be a game of which navy can actually make their way faster across the sea. Is it gonna be Control K, who will dispatch the forces belonging to Azot, and then, from here on onwards, start destroying the naval production and the bases belonging to the Team Blast Shield? Or is it gonna be Hybrid, who is gonna make his way through the mid lane towards the bases belonging to Vindex and Popiska? Nope, it seems like here's gonna come the Solaces once again to save the day, as the submarine hunters, the Yadhosu, are gonna get killed by a single precise strike from the enemy's torpedo bombers. So it seems like the Summit class are gonna be still necessary to actually go and grind down the opponents of the Hybrid. And it seems like the Juliet is still, well, kinda uninterrupted, enjoying her life in this corner, and oh my goodness, what is this? What is this? It seems like Juliet never got the memo that you are not supposed to be building your naval units in such a small pond. Oh boy, those units are useless. What the heck, boy, or should I say what the heck, girl, are you doing? Well, yep, those units are kinda useless, but going back to the player v player fight, it really does seem like Popiska is really forced to just go and cut his losses, just go and fall back. Give up this position and just hunker down somewhere around this line here so you can actually build up some more units to defend yourself. As you are not winning this slow and steady grind between these two forces. As there is just too many units available for hybrid here. So basically, the play here should be to go and well, hunker down around this part here and buy as much time as you can for Ctrl K to actually go and deal with the opposing forces here belonging to Seraphim Noob. Although here comes the Solas torpedo bombers once again. And unfortunately it seems like the team Seraphim Noob will have no real answer to that threat, as he have no ISF or nothing available for himself, only a bunch of cruisers and T3 submarines, which are gonna be nowhere enough to go and shut down all of these Solases, as there is what, 42 of them, yep. Those torpedo bombers alone are gonna be enough to basically just go and kill all the navy belonging to Seraphim Noob, so yep. At this point of the game, all they have to do is just attack move towards this position with both the torpedo bombers and the navy belonging to Ctrl K, and this is gonna be a GG. Okay, here comes the airstrike. As the shifts G have been used, targets are about to get dispatched as the bombs are being dropped, as we can see, one after another. They are in the sea, as we can see them hitting target, connecting with one cruiser after another. ASF coming here to go and secure them, or not, as some units from Seraphim are still gonna go and try to shut down these Solaces, but there is nowhere air units available for the team Seraphim Noob, as their air force is getting killed one after another. And now with the whole fleet getting dispatched in a single swift move with the Solar Strike, it seems like the next targets are gonna be the T3 HQs belonging to the Team Blast Chill. As we can see, more and more torpedo bombers coming here to go and drop their payload, as the T3 Naval HQ belonging to Hybrid is no more. Next target is gonna be the HQ belonging to Hybrid in the top right corner of the map. As we can see, the Seraphim HQ is now the next one under the attack. Now Navy belonging to Ctrl K is also pouring in from all the sides, as Seraphim Noob base is now coming under fire from this big naval fleet. As Ctrl K is here to go and seal the deal, kill the naval factories, kill the engineers, and get the enemy team out of the water. Did they kill the HQ on the top side? Yes, they managed to go and kill the T3 Naval HQ on the top side too, so yes. It seems like the race to the bottom is gonna get won by the team Ctrl K, as now no more naval units are gonna be produced by their opponents, as they are all getting, well, killed one after another. The naval factories, even though they're still trying to produce the units, they are not gonna build even a single one, as the enemy battleships from Azot are doing their work. We can see the battleships pounding away at enemy Summit class, as Hybrid is trying to still go and mount the last ditch effort defense, but unfortunately we can see the Summit class battleships sinking one after another. So it seems like it is time to go and say goodbye to these beautiful bastards, as the Cyber Nation is gonna go and come out victorious in this fight here. It seems like Hybrid is still not giving up, trying to go and build one more HQ, but unfortunately it got shot down before it even got finished. As the units, as the Galaxy class battleships are well too numerous, there is just too many for them, for the opposing team to go and stop them. even more so, as there is more torpedo bombers coming to go and save the day. And it seems like the push here on the left side of the map is also not gonna work out, as Team Seraphim is gonna go and recall from the game. After this naval fight have also been basically thwarted by the torpedo bombers, the sources from Endranii, coming in here to go and kill the remnants of the naval fleet belonging to Hybrid. As GGs are coming out in the chat, as the game 1 goes towards the Team Popiska. GG, well played.